and today is role play roulette, or as my French friends would not say, role play roulette.
Roulette, roulette.
There you go.
Bon.
And I should add that I'm thinking about making this a little bit more campy in by saying that the rules are all made up and the points don't matter.
Yay. I
Um,
have all the points then?
yeah.
No, you can have half. And I
Okay.
get the other half plus one.
Math does not work. That math does not work.
Does it good?
No, because it's an incursive loop. Because every time you give that extra half a point, then I have to split it with Travis, and so then you get another plus one, so we have to split it with Travis. So,
So,
I would like to invite you to the Infinite Hotel.
nice.
I think you'd enjoy that paradox.
Yes. Alrighty. So, we are gathered today to decide what game we're going to play. I've got the wheel up and operational. First of all, take a few moments and have my players introduce themselves. If you only feel comfortable giving your first name, fine. If you want to give us a false name, that's okay too. At least 3 of my players, their names are actually showing on the screen because of the wonderful privacy of Zoom. So you may want to put up a different name.
They
Okay.
know who I am.
Yeah, I know. It's like they could find me anyway.
I introduce myself every time I introduce a character.
Wait.
So
No, I know, but it's just that some people don't feel comfortable doing that. So, and also it's a world now where I have to make sure everyone is perfectly okay with what we're doing. Because who knows? Anyway, I'll introduce myself first. I'm Jonathan Albin, the Game Market Guru. I've been role playing since 1974, almost constantly. As a matter of fact, my sisters used to say Jonathan is only here because he's role playing a human being. The rest of the time, he's off someplace else. So,
wow.
about right.
It sounds a little bit cool, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they're right.
No, it's showing love because they know him that well.
yeah,
That's
My-
family, man.
my
Okay.
one of my teachers actually said that I was so imaginationally minded that I was of no earthly good.
wow.
How you like
Okay,
my
that one
name?
sounds pretty good.
That's the
I like
greatest
that one.
compliment you could get, John.
Why, thank you. Variability. I like that. Okay, so that's like the fun first fun random game here. Is everybody come up with a word that means change in some fashion? Variability works.
Serendipity.
Okay, there you go. Travis is serendipity.
Wind.
What's that?
When
Winds?
Chaos. How about chaos?
You already have
Yes.
yours, Gene. You can give.
chaos.
Okay, so Scott is chaos.
All right. I guess that's good.
Jacob, can you think of a word that means randomness or variability or change?
Change.
What?
Evolve. There we go.
Evolve? Good one. So Steven is evolved. We have a couple of other players that are out there in the wings. I made invites and had some success in having conversations with people, so we may or may not have additional players hop in today. They said, one of them at least said that he or she would probably be a little bit late, so we'll see how that goes.
What was the question?
Same here. I did the same thing.
Find
We're looking for a synonym of change, variability, etc.
Different?
Different. Good one, Jacob. You were replacing that as your different.
I cannot spell right now.
There you go. You cannot spell?
Yeah, I'm having a slight difficulty.
Pass it?
There we go.
And I'll change mine here to my favorite word for variability.
No one likes him, John.
No one likes him?
Yeah.
Nah, everyone loves him.
Who's him?
Or her. Or they. Yeah, but they're at least Yellowvale, not Greenvale. Because if they were enough, they would be many.
Aren't we all Yellowvale at this point? But at least today.
Aren't we all Yellowvale? Yes, that's true. Today is Yellowvale, which brings me back to our wheel. So, the quick and dirty of the wheel is that there are 6 choices that are 6 options that may arrive, from superheroes to killing dinosaurs. Let's go see what we're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates, only less fattening and, unfortunately, arguably in worse taste.
And yet more filling in some way.
And in some ways, yes, it's definitely strangely satisfying. Slimy, but satisfying.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Where's my wheel interact button? I don't see the interact button.
Wheel of roleplay.
Where's the controls?
Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba.
I can see it. I can't.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Travis, where is the... Transform.
Right click.
I did right click. And I end up with all kinds of stuff that isn't it.
Slowly go one by one.
Paste, copy, select all, invert, transform, group, hide, create, source, remove. Oh, look, there it is, right in the middle. Of course it's right in the middle.
At
They
least
fooled.
it isn't always at the bottom. But
No, but that's very clever. In order to hide something the best, you just put it right in the middle. My eyes will look right past it every time. All right, we are spinning. Now, you can do the music again if you want to. Yay! And oh, cool. Welcome to the Wild West, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing Dust and Six Guns.
okay.
Dag nabbit.
There we go.
I don't get to change my picture.
Give me 2 seconds here and
Turnations.
Turnations.
Okay, so Wild West.
I want to play some kind of prospectory type.
Okay, you could be a prospector, or you could be... Where's my list? System books. There it
There's
is.
gold in them dar hills.
I'm cowboy if there's a cowboy.
I am obviously a saloon owner.
Okay, so choices are Sharp, which is the card Sharp. That's the dandy, the guy that wears the really cool vest. Also tends to talk a lot, sometimes speaks whereas guns aren't quite. Then there's the Shootist. This is the serious gunslinger. Tends to be quiet, tends to be resolute. Usually ends up either dead or standing over the body of his enemy. Then there's
Eastwood.
Then there's the barber, and the barber can be anything really from the kind of the town drunk kind of a role all the way to Undertaker. It's the side character that inevitably actually gets to know a lot of stuff. He's like the person everyone will come to with information. Then there's the prospector, which Travis has already called for. The prospector is...
The card sharp.
Okay, you're going to play the Sharp? All right. Then there's the Wrangler. This is the true American cowboy.
Wait, what is the prospector going to do? I want to know.
Oh, okay. So the prospector, he's kind of like the finder. He survives because he scratches the ground and gets gold to fall out of it. For those that may have not familiar with the kind of concept of the character, think of Klondike from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Throws his axe.
Yukon Cornelius.
That's him. Yukon Cornelius. That's him. Throws his axe in the air, picks it up, tastes the end of it, and goes, nothing. Wranglers are your cowboys. And then finally, you've got your lawman. I call them rectifiers because sometimes they're on the right side of the law and sometimes they're not. But these are the guys that wear the badge. Anything from the actual marshals to
Self-appointed
Right.
peacekeeper.
or Judge Roy Bean. Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't that also be the serious gunslinger in some respects, depending on your perspective?
This is like the difference between a fighter and a paladin.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well-
One follows the law and one is above the law. Maybe.
Well, the
No.
rectifier is actually kind of your investigator too. He tends to be he'll add some intimidation to that, add some inspection to that, add some negotiation to that. But his the difference between him and the shootist is the shootist really is just about the guns, whereas the rectifier is more about the setup. He's the guy that does the it's a difference between strategy and tactics, basically.
Okay.
The shootist is a tactics
They
guy.
don't have the buffalo hunter or the hunter. I guess it's more about the town, though.
Yeah, that would count as you'd actually count that as a prospector. You can have multiples of these. Also, we've let's see. So the next thing we need to talk a little bit about is the rules. I know the last few sessions it's kind of felt a little bit arbitrary as far as the dice rolling, but I've gone back and actually reread my rules, the stuff that I originally wrote for this. Isn't that crazy? To actually read the rules of a game? Jonathan?
Oh,
Did you?
I
Honestly?
did. I actually, number
Might
one.
have edited a couple, you know.
so how many rolls do we have to make? Is the
Okay, so the first thing, okay, what you're talking about, Scott, is the full build of a character. We're not going to do the full build
okay?
because that does take a little bit longer, but it's also we made that part kind of enjoyable on itself because it's kind of fun to just sit there and roll dice. But the basics that you have to have is you have to have your roll here, and then from your roll you also need to have your fighting value, if you will. And what I mean by fighting value is the number that you will resolve your actions against. Now, notice all of these jobs are a little bit of everybody's job. So even the most common person, if you saw a piece of if you saw what you thought was a negative gold on the ground, you'd probably pick it up just because that's the medium of exchange in this time frame is actual ore and things like that. So everybody has a little bit of sharp, a little bit of shootist, a little bit of barber, etc. So when you're trying to resolve an action, you'll couch it in terms of, okay, I'm going to use a little bit of wrangler to try to beat this, to make this guy change his. I'm going to use a little bit of rectifier to make this guy change his mind, and you have 5% in everything. So no matter what, you have 5% as a modifier to your die roll. All right, so if you're trying to roll against anything, you can just add the 5%. If it's specifically in your wheelhouse, so for example, if I gotta go look at the names here, variability happens to be a sharp, making a sharp roll, she gets to add a whopping 95 to the die roll. Now it sounds like, holy crap, the numbers are going to be 135% or whatever. But the trick is that I will also be announcing to you a difficulty number, and that degree of difficulty is actually the minus on your die roll. So if I say, oh, this is you're trying to let's say somebody's got a gun drawn on you, but you're a sharp, so you're going to try to reach for your derringer. Okay, you would normally just be able to add a plus 95. But because of the difficulty of this, because you're staring down the barrel of a sawed-off shotgun, I'm going to make it a minus 70. So then you take the minus 70 off the 95, and then whatever that number is what you're going to roll against. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little more mental gymnastics, but it puts a little bit more control in your hands.
Okay, so let me get these numbers again.
Well, so you'll want to make sure that you've got all 6 of those classes written down, so you know
Okay.
which you can draw against the sharp, the shootist, the barber, prospector, wrangler, and rectifier.
Let me. Okay, so John, I have a question. I got an OBS to record my Monday game, but since you guys are using OBS, if I use my OBS to record, would that cause a wonky
No.
in the? Okay.
You just you'd sign into your OBS, and if you're not ascribing OBS to go anywhere, as far as where are you going to be streaming to?
Oh,
I
I'm
think he's
not-
just recording.
I'm not. I don't have it set up for streaming yet.
Okay.
We have the shootist, the
Okay.
barber, the card sharp, the shooter, the wrangler or cowboy, and the last one was the what?
Rectifier.
Rectifier.
Okay, back to
You had shooter twice. One's a prospector.
Oh, prospector. You are right, prospector. And then the rectifier.
Okay, but so yes, if all you're doing is recording, you can just do it from OBS, and it's recorded on your machine, and it'll be your show. It won't be this. You won't be interfering with us at all.
That's just what I wanted to know, because at this point, that's how I record notes.
Oh, I was going to say, don't you know everything that you record automatically goes onto my channel, and I get paid for it? I'm kidding.
Now, what numbers do
Totally
we
kidding.
need to write down about our character?
Well, those are all 5% except for the one that you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I want to clarify. You can choose, just for the sake of play, up to 3 of these. The first one, well, I'll explain why in another episode. I'm just trying not to make this too long at the beginning of the game. But you can choose up to 3 of these. If you choose 3, you choose one as the primary, which you're going to put as 45% instead of 95%. Then your second one you'll put in as 30%, and then finally one at 15%. And then all the rest are 5s. But you don't
Like,
have
I
to do
don't
that.
have to take- yeah.
If you put them all into one, you are a master at that one thing, and so you'll be at 95% on any choices made under that category.
Okay.
Almost all NPCs in the story are going to be archetypes, so they will play as one of these 6.
Guys, I have prospecting covered.
You
I
What
have,
video is that long?
I am so prospecty.
he's definitely finding everything.
Goldwright is my last name, okay?
There we go.
I'm trying to decide between rectifier and shootist. I might do more rectifier than shootist.
I definitely, Scott, just when I think of you, I think of rectification. Things should be made right.
You should apologize.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether I want to go full rectifier or.
Well, the advantage of going rectifier is you get to say things like, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us, and I live here, so you're screwed."
I get to say, there's gold in them dar hills.
It's true.
oh, Jacob, what are you taking?
There is a snake in my boots.
Also, if I have to disappear, then you just imagine that I just jumped down the nearest well and started digging.
There's a barber, a shooter, and a
A barber, a shootist.
You talking about the whole list
rectifier?
again? The whole list again?
yeah.
You're having such a hard
No,
time with this.
Did Jacob choose something?
I'm going to choose the shooter.
Shootist.
The shootist. Okay.
I'll go with the tamer then.
I'll do rectifier.
Wrangler, whatever.
What was that, Steven?
Wrangler?
You're gonna go with all right. Got that American cowboy. All
The
right.
cowboy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still think one of the funniest thing about playing like this is that you get to say things like a shooter, a shootist, a sharp, and a prospector walk into a bar. Yeah, you're setting up jokes. So I like that. Leave.
Oh.
I follow you. That's
What are
good.
you gonna be, Gene?
ability for the day. Lady V, the card sharp. All right.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Vixen to you.
Vixen. Nice. Vixen variability. That's her full name.
BB.
So,
BB.
I like that one. Lawman Chaos. That's good too.
let me. I'm not gonna put the lawman in.
No,
That's-
that's okay.
That's not chaos. It's Cayuse.
No, that's
Dang it, my dyslexia kicked in.
you're fine. You're fine.
No,
Leave it the
no.
way
All
it
you have
is.
to do is remove the E.
But except that he was also making a Western joke as a K use.
Cayuse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. That's C-A-U-S-E.
He knows Cayuse.
Yeah, C-A-Y-S-E. Cayuse.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go
Jeez,
full
you guys
West.
just don't get old Western puns, do you?
I got it.
I don't.
Hey, I like
don't-
that. Cowbee the cowboy. That's funny. That's
Cowbee?
hysterical. Cowbee the cowboy. You love those clever little names, don't you, Stephen? Like fish,
Indeed.
like fishy cat and Cowbee. Again, that sounds like a movie. It's coming soon to a theater near you. A new comedy starring Stephen and Stephen as Fishy Cat and Cowbee.
I have one for Jacob. He could be, what was it? Dexter, meaning the right hand, you know?
Or Dexter the killer.
Dexter.
The killer
different.
killer.
Or Phineas K. Poindexter. There we go.
Poindexter. Yeah, I point my finger at you and it kills.
Yeah.
Bam bam.
Pow.
That's
Like
how
all-
Dexter kills.
Like our all of our childhood, right? Bang bang. Pow pow. Well, that's one of the things I noticed in my childhood is that all the boys could make the sounds of guns, explosions, and you could almost tell the caliber by the sound they made. But girls, when they played guns with us, most of them would go, pew, pew. It's like, come on. Your gun's got to sound different from that. Come on.
Pew.
Oh no. We had machine guns.
I hear goats. A lot
Yeah.
of goats.
Nah. She said, nah.
Insert
That's sheep. Gotta stick your tongue out more for goats.
Insert goat scream.
Exactly.
Okay.
You really should lay off the laudanum there, Chaos.
I got that one.
I could use some laudanum.
Laudanum.
But
You says it's how you says it's now says it's how I says.
Yeah, this is the American West, after all. And he bought it from somebody who was drunk, so it came out as laudanum.
Ah.
What time period are we talking about? 1860s?
Yeah, 1860s, the war is over. And
Is
there's...
the witch dead?
Is the witch dead? Mary Todd Lincoln, no, but she's been her family's been replaced by the Johnsons.
Ah, shoot.
So because we're talking post Lincoln, we're also talking about there's already was it Treasury men? I know there's there's the Pinkertons, which were the private ones that worked for like Wells Fargo, but they were also the first of the government before they were Department of Interior and
Ain't none
Secret
of
Service.
us youngins know what the shoot you're talking
The Indian
about.
agents?
I'm just clarifying that are you Chaos? Are you playing a ranked individual? Are you like a sheriff or a marshal or a deputy?
He's a
I was-
Texas Ranger.
Or you could be a
I
ranger.
was- yeah, that's right. This is before they got disbanded. So I might do a Texas Ranger act.
All right.
I like that stuff.
Oh, good, because a Southern girl would certainly move to Texas.
Well, of course they would, because Texas is bigger.
And it's fresh stomping ground. And when they take
And
everything
everything's
you
better
own,
when it's bigger.
yeah,
Wink,
you
wink.
have to make use of your social graces.
Yes,
Yeah,
and if
social
you're a
graces.
southern, if
That's the reason why.
we got
Come on.
well, if vixens from the south realize that there are going to be some people that are going to look down on you, just make sure you're aware of that. Yeah, I don't care about those
Well,
fancy.
I'll smooth out my accent just a bit.
Yeah, you might want to.
I was a northern sympathizer, which was difficult in the south.
That's true. That's why you ran with Texas, but we won't talk
Yeah,
about
that's why I came to Texas.
it. Alrighty.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
So we're in a little town, unfortunately, called Pestilence. It's a horrible name. Horrible name for a town.
Charming, I'm sure.
Better than Tombstone.
Slightly less dead. Only mostly dead. That means partially alive. Oh, we haven't gone. We're going.
Hey,
wrong
I
way.
moved here from war, so
That's true.
Wars,
Ran from
War
war.
is bad.
Ran away from war and came to Pestilence. Now, this little town is not
Big
The
enough for
usual.
two of us.
not a usual kind of a place. Matter of fact, the town of Pestilence doesn't even currently have any governance. But then again, it's also about 7 buildings make up the town itself. It was.
So this is a
It
really-
was. It's
so it's a general store, tavern, bar sort of building, or it's the hotel.
It's
Oh.
yeah. It would be a hotel
Okay.
that has a bar in it. There would be a general store. There would be a blacksmith. There would be a land office, and there would be a jail. But the jail is literally the jail stands in the middle of town, and it's a metal box, a metal grate. Just
there would have to be a saloon.
no, it's at the hotel.
That's a
Well,
hotel.
You know that back in the day, most of these towns were settled by women who wanted land ownership, and so the saloon would often be the first thing that would pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Anyway,
I room
this-
with
th-
a
this-
respectable widow woman.
Before the war, Pestilence was actually going to be on the map for a rail station because it was going to be a way for the Texas to bring local
Good
support local support to the what's the word
South?
for it? Yeah, but specifically to Vicksburg.
Ah,
And the fact that the South government collapsed before the end of the war caused those plans to change, and so what was going to be a burgeoning little town fell to collapse. So the town was called Clarksville before, and now they changed it to Pestilence because they kind of feel like the place might be cursed. There might be problems here.
So, like,
Explains a lot.
well, there's problems. Right here in Pestilence City.
Nice. I knew where you were going. That rhyme doesn't feel so good off the tongue though. Problems.
With a capital P, and that rhymes with L, and that stands for Levi Bartholomew Goldwright. Because I'm gonna get all that gold up in them dar hills.
Yeah, which is really funny. The hills of East Texas. That's good. The reality is that Goldwright more than likely broke his wagon here and couldn't go any further, and that's why he's looking for gold here because he doesn't have enough. He ran out of money to move his wagon.
This is California, ain't it?
order, this is
Texas.
Texas.
No, we're in California.
No.
Okay.
You
I'm
pronounce
trying to get to California.
and I can just imagine him saying, "You pronounce it like you want, and I'll pronounce the way I like. You say it's Texas, I say it's California."
Look,
Well, then
All
go
I know-
look for the gold in the hills of California.
Wherever the hell that is, okay.
Well, there's hills right out there to the southeast.
That's where I is.
All right, now
Oh, almost.
you'll notice that the quiet man standing at the end of the bar sipping his whiskey is looking at the rest of you with a careful eye. You all know him as, well, he's different. I just need to know what you actually call yourself there, shootist.
Jacob.
Oh, me?
You need to listen. Yep, you. What's your story? We got a little bit of everybody else's story. What's a little bit of your story? Are you looking for a gunslinger to take down, or are you running from somebody so they don't kill you? That's pretty much the two stories you can start with as a shootist. You're really good with guns, and you're either waiting for somebody to come kill you, or you're looking for somebody.
I'm more of a bounty hunting business.
Okay, so you're looking for somebody. Who are you looking for?
The man that killed my mama.
They,
Yeah, that's gonna
Ooh, wait.
I'm trying to think.
Mute yourself when you yawn, Calby. Sounds like you're bored and don't want to be here.
That's fair.
Thank you. All right, so different. You're hunting somebody. Who are you hunting?
A man named Gordon.
And I got a man named Gordon. All right. So you have asked the barkeep, and the barkeep has shake, as they always do in the movies. He looks at the picture you show him, says, "Sorry, mister, I ain't never seen him nowhere around here. You might want to talk to Calby over there. He's covered a bit more range than I have."
Thank you. Thanks. I'll head to Calby.
Okay, Calby's no doubt lounging just inside the bar at a table. Probably sitting at the same table with Miss V, who's
Probably the prettiest thing there.
well, yes,
Oh,
and you're
Viv, you looking divine today. Well, how much do you go by?
wow.
What?
She's sitting there with a deck of cards, doing all those card sharpie things, shuffling, fanning, moving the cards. She stands them on their end and walks them across the
Why,
table.
sir, do you insult me?
No, I do not mess it. I'm just saying you looking delicious, and I would love to
Excuse
have
me.
a taste.
Man, they,
No, in game.
It wouldn't be nearly
no.
as bad of an insult as it would be today, by the way.
She stands up. She says, "You will excuse me. I'm sure you can find a lady of the night somewhere else."
That
And she
was
moves to a
that
new
wasn't
table.
okay. Just for clarification, Lady V, that actually, as Travis was pointing out, would not be as egregious as it is today.
They were usually the most powerful people in the town because they ran things.
Right, and not only that, he came to sit at your table, which means he probably wants to play cards. And more than likely, in his ineptitude, he would have been asking you what the buy-in is for the gambling that you do, since you're a card
That's
player.
stretching it.
And
You look
it,
delicious.
what? No, that part
No,
was that.
she's-
No, calm down. That part, you're right. That was a compliment. But the other part about how much is it? He was actually probably asking what the buy-in is. Because usually you have to stake.
That's John's story,
exactly
and
what I
we'll
was
stick
saying.
to it.
I'm trying.
Exactly. See?
I'm trying to.
Why can't you see that?
The more you talk, Stephen, the deeper you dig.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Okay.
I just don't. I just don't want the Ranger Chaos. Oh, that sounds so good. Ranger Chaos. You did really good on that name. That's really funny. Ranger Chaos. You don't want Ranger Chaos to come over here and break any heads at the beginning of the session because we haven't even gotten to any bad guys or nothing.
It's a better ranger name than Chick Bogre.
he
Yeah.
wouldn't actually break some. Well, he might. He might. I
Well-
think
If you were protecting a woman's honor, you probably would. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay. I I said, however, if you would like a game of cards, I can certainly oblige you. Buy-in's $1.
A whole dollar.
Wait, that's steep.
Levi in the corner is he's nursing a drink because the last few coins he had he basically bought his
What coins? I never used coins in my whole life. I use nothing but straight up gold.
yeah, that's what everyone says, but that nickel
Call it fool's gold, but that's just because they call me fool.
and that nickel that you found on the sidewalk happened to make it to the counter, but okay. Well, I don't know how that got there. Dang it! Good.
What in tarnation?
What
You poisoning my pockets with them nuggets again?
That means I gotta spend it because I can't keep the coins in my pockets.
It's against my consciousnesses.
Exactly. All right, so you're all literally sitting in this little establishment. Now you guys are familiar with each other. This has been like the 18th or 19th day you've been in this little town. Calby's waiting for the next drive, so he's not headed north anytime soon. Of course, Levi is not going anywhere until he fixes that broken axle. But of course, he can't scrape together enough dust, even if it's fool's gold dust, to make it.
I ain't going nowhere till I find my fortunes.
Exactly.
I have made it to California. I got here a lot sooner than I thought I would, but I'm here till I'm rich.
Well,
So the only thing that's changed is this new stranger, the quiet man, who's right now striding over to the table and staring down at Calby.
What do you want?
I set you up, Jacob.
Yeah. So are you Calby?
That is me.
Oh, come on.
I hear that you know someone.
I know a lot of people. Depending on what you're looking for, who you looking for,
I show him the
or
picture.
why you looking for.
Okay.
What I get out of you looking for it.
You take a look at the picture, and there's a little bit of a flashback in your mind. The guy does look familiar, but he was your Confederate commander back in the day. The reason why you came out here is you fought on the wrong side. You weren't. Now it was for the honest dollar of getting paid by this new developing idea of states' rights and all of that. But you were on the wrong side, and so when the war was over, you tried to leave that behind. And here this guy shows up with a picture of your old boss.
Why are you looking for this fella?
Different? Ask you a question. You told me you're a bounty hunter. You need to tell him that you're a bounty hunter.
Jacob.
Huh?
They're
Why are
talking
you
to you.
looking
Everyone's
this
talking
fella?
to you.
You're having a conversation with Calby. Calby asked you why you're chasing down Gordon.
Oh.
You have to
Let's
tell him the same thing you told me, that you're a bounty hunter. And there's
Say he made a mistake back in
Vicksburg.
Virginia.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. People make mistakes all the time.
And the government wants him dead.
Wow.
Who wants him
It's a
dead?
dead or alive contract. Nice.
Who wants him dead? Virginia?
The governor of Virginia.
Oof. And how much do I get out of this?
You just give me the information and I'll give you the quarter of the reward.
Wow! That's a heck of an offer. But you have to betray your old boss
Oof, whatever.
for a quarter of the.
Dick. You never know.
Maybe
Was he a dick?
You tell me. You worked for him. Did he send you on any chart.
Well, there was times when he. Let me think. Refresh. Give me a second.
Did he require you
You
to
know what? I'm
raid
gonna do this. Okay, so he was a holy man. He was a saint. He helped the homeless, the poor. He was someone who took care of the children from wars. He like made sure they got to eat.
Hey,
I'm not sure
just
if I can help you.
okay. Different. What you're going to need to do, Jacob. You're different. Is your character's name different? You're going to need to roll a sharp check. So you're going to roll percentage dice, and you want to roll under 5%. Actually, roll under the modifier in this case because he's asking a pretty egregious, making up some egregious stuff here. Let's go with 65%. So roll under 65.
What I'd make him to be. Damn it.
And that's what we're about to find out.
Where did the other dice?
Roll percentage.
That's what I asked.
Where is still in now?
Want me to roll for you, man?
He's rolled.
For a D20, I got a 15, and for the D10, I got a 3.
Yeah, 53. All right. So yeah, he actually nods at you and says, "Yeah, that's what I want him for. His goodness."
Actually, I was about to say something different.
Oh, feel free. The trick is Jacob, I need to hear your response so I know that you're playing. So yes, go ahead. What were you going to say? He just called him a saint. He said he's a saint and an angel. Why are you hunting him?
But did they say that he killed the governor's wife and daughter?
Wow.
Well, I would do stuff. They must have really did something to make him mad. Which I'm not surprised with nobles. They tend to like to do what people who think they're noble.
All right, now we know how Calby really feels about wealthy people. They're royals. That's good. That's good. You know what's really important to remember is that people came to this country for lots of different reasons. So it's quite possible that you actually are running all the way from the east. You know, you could have come from. You could have come from.
Let me tell you this. The governor of Virginia, he was newly elected, and he's trying to fix the problems that was happening.
That's not.
Back there.
It's all good, my friend. Well, I'll give you a hint where he's at, but I don't know where exactly he's at. If you think you can take him, go for it.
Okay, so Calby, just to give you some additional back information. You happen to know that Gordon was running with Quantrell's raiders after the war was over. Still doing some raids in the name of the Confederacy, even though he was no longer on the payroll.
He strongly believe in the cause.
Right. Well, and Gordon, as you said, saintly Gordon P. Witherspoon. That's a great name for him. Was a landowner in the South, and they took his plantation, his property was directly on the line for Sherman's march to Atlanta, and so he lost everything. And he had been a saintly man. He actually was a rector at a church and all kinds of stuff. But his demeanor changed when his family was killed. So the fact that he's turned into a cold-blooded killer doesn't quite surprise you. But you happen to know that the raiders are running around just north of here, up by the Arkansas border.
So I will give you the hint. I just need some cane for my pain of return.
He already offered you 25%.
Right. I forgot. He is.
So are you going to tell him outright, or are you going to protect your interest? Because now that you've got a 25% interest, you're going to make sure this guy succeeds, or else you won't get paid.
He saved my life a few times. I'll let fate take care of it.
Okay. But my point is that this is supposed to be a group thing, and so I'm trying to get you guys to tie to each other. Yeah. This is one thing that cadre is supposed to start is that you all already know each other enough to
I need the rectifier. Where's the rectifier? He in here?
No.
There's
Stay
some
away.
varmints holed up in one of my holes up north.
Quiet you.
What do you mean quiet? Please,
I
if
need
you
the
may,
rectifier.
why don't you come over here and we'll see if somebody can help you.
Alright, let's
Well,
go.
he
Let's go.
actually,
Yeah.
Lady V, he's standing right at your table. You've been hearing this whole conversation.
Oh,
So-
okay. Well, please have a seat. And is there anybody here that can help this gentleman with his problem? In the
Yeah.
meantime,
Where's the
would
sheriff?
you
Where's
like
the
to
deputy? Where's the ranger?
play a friendly game?
The ranger is standing over in the corner. He's like turned his back on this because he hasn't shown any interest in getting into the conversation. But he's standing over there, his hat tipped down low over his forehead. His arms are crossed so you don't see his badge.
I will, at this point, uncross my arms and nonchalantly walk over to, possibly, if need be, subdue the loud, I need the rectifier man, because he is causing a ruckus. So,
How am I causing a ruckus? I'm
We
looking
can
for
you're,
I'm looking for the deputy.
you're being rather loud, sir, and apparently disturbing the lady.
Excuse me. When there's some varmints holed up in your hole, you'd excuse the lady too.
I'm just gonna show my bag at this point.
Well, he knows who you are. He literally came in here looking for you, but he doesn't understand the ranking because he's just a prospector. Remember, he was all over the board as far as who he's calling for: deputy, sheriff, ranger, whatever. He was looking for somebody in authority. But more important,
Flabbit, Jimmy, you know it was you I was looking for all along.
So,
okay, now we got Jimmy. Now we got Lawman
oh
Chaos's
God, here we go.
first
Here we
name
go.
is Jimmy. All right, Jimmy Chaos.
Yes, Jimmy Chaos.
James.
What are these-
You to everyone else you're James, but Levi's known you most of your life, so that's why he calls you Jimmy.
I imagine that he's just kind of crazy. He'll call you whatever name he
That's true.
comes up in his head.
What sort of varmints are in your hole this time?
I don't know, some kind of soldiery types wearing gray and whatnot. They're dirty as all hell.
Stars and bars on their banner.
They're after my gold. You gotta protect my claim.
Ah,
It's your
you
duty.
always think everybody is after your gold. You
But,
probably think I'm after your gold, which
Well, I wouldn't have if you didn't pick up that rock near my hole. Could have been gold, couldn't it?
look.
Not my
Let's
fault I
go.
shot off your hat.
Let's go.
Okay,
see about the
Yeah. Also, go ahead and Chaos make a 65% check because you were already hearing the conversation, but different. It sounds like Levi might have a clue as well.
so I got
Helping.
I know. Heart is helping.
33.
40. Yeah.
33.
Yeah, you definitely put the 2 plus the 2 together, so you probably more than likely dragged Mr. Noisy over to the table just because everyone else is
Yeah.
congregating there. All right.
So, my apologies for my loud companion. The varmint he described sounds very much like your raiders. So different. We should probably go investigate and try to clear up both claims at once. But may I see your bounty papers?
Different. Jacob.
Huh?
You-
Sorry.
Whenever I
keep trying to talk to you.
when I say different, I'm talking to Jacob. Okay.
Ah.
So when other people talk to Jacob, they're going to call you different as well because that's your character name. So you got to be paying attention because they're going to ask questions of you. So did you hear what Lawman Chaos said?
Not exactly.
Okay. Repeat it there.
It seems like the varmint my loud companion is describing may be the same as your raiders. We should investigate to clear up both claims at once, but may I check your bounty papers to make sure they are in order?
Sure. Give him the paper.
Yep. So he pulls out his folded documents, and he's got two. He's got one that is his actual license to be a bounty hunter, assigned by the governor's of office of the governor of Texas, and second piece of paper is the Virginia claim on Gordon Rutherford. Rutherford? I think I said his name was
Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, yeah. So I'm being a Texas Ranger myself. I would probably instantly recognize the governor's signature.
Yep, you're familiar with it.
Yeah. So that's no problem, but I'm gonna just carefully peruse the claim to make sure everything is in order. I'm basically being Mr.
Detail-itis. I got it.
Yeah.
All right. It's all in order. Seems perfectly fine.
Looks like your claim is legitimate. Let's go check this out, because I want to get my loud companion.
He's not been loud in a good 10 minutes now.
We're in a saloon, Conflabbit. I'm not even causing a ruckus. I ain't even thrown anybody out a window yet.
You're not that strong.
The fact that you said yes is what really concerns me.
You know me, Bobby. I ain't gonna throw no one out no window unless they called need for
I
it.
thought you called him Jimmy a moment before.
He calls me all sorts of names. Miss B, do not worry about it. He talks a lot and doesn't always remember what he said 5 minutes ago.
I know what I says 10 minutes ago.
But regardless, we should probably check out these
All right. So this hole that where you left it would that wouldn't happen to be old Box Canyon, would it? Horse Thief Canyon.
I believe it might.
Yeah. So the area north of town along the river, in the summer like this, drains out, and so there's a pass that goes up into the hinterlands of eastern Texas, where historically people have gone to shelter from tornadoes and such like that. And it's not necessarily the most hospitable of terrain, but it's rocky, lots of crags and twists, and if you were going to be hiding even a small number of men, you'd need to have this kind of cover. So this canyon that
The ore's good there, though. Ore's good.
sandstone always is. The area where Levi is calling his hole is basically it's a boxed end canyon, which means if you go down there far enough, you can't. You come to an end, and that would be more than likely where this what he calls his hole. So
James will sigh audibly. Why would you be digging there? If you get stuck, there's no way out. If they are there, it could easily lead to a shootout. Are you prepared for that?
My mama always told me that no risk, no reward, and therefore by the more risk, the more reward there be. So I chose the most riskiest place for the most reward possible in the least amount of time.
Of course you.
wow, that is searing,
Alright.
searing prospector logic. I like that. That was very good.
It makes sense, but he's just like, of course you
Well,
did.
gentlemen, certainly you can't take off tonight, so why don't we sit down and have a friendly game of cards? And then tomorrow you can all set off on your adventure.
You're not coming with us?
What time is it?
Now, remember, Lady V, these people are, the people they're talking about hunting down are tangentially at least associated with your past. There are a couple of them there that might know of your property ownership in, let's say, in Virginia in particular.
Well, I can make myself absent. Certainly. I wouldn't be interested. Well, maybe I might be interested in shooting them dead.
That's my point. Is that you're talking like they're going to run off and do this thing, but they're now talking about taking out a possible threat to your existence. So it might be useful for you to be there. It's
To make sure that he's dead.
yeah, that if anybody happens to have met their demise, it would be the person that would be the most dangerous to your way of life.
Yes.
No.
I
Yeah,
I
Kitty
still
will
have
do-
my father's pistol, dueling pistol.
So maybe you should come with us and use it on these vagabonds.
You didn't invite a lady. What kind of lawman is you?
Well, I assure you that occasionally
Not your everyday lawman.
I went hunting with my brothers and my father.
Yeah, but hunting ain't no hunting for men's. There's no place for women folk.
Lee,
Your
you
dress
have to
get
be...
caught in your hitches.
Oh my god, he is so uncouth sometimes.
You're the one that's being uncouth for this time period. Just saying.
How do you think I
If-
got out here on my own?
If the lady believes she can handle herself, then I have no objection to her coming along.
She passes
No,
her hand
okay,
to the,
James, you're actually more than likely would see it more along the lines of, it won't matter, I'm a good enough lawman, I'll protect her. You honestly wouldn't think that she's going to be carrying out any form of justice on her own, and you don't know anything about her backstory as far as that part's concerned. But if she wants to come out there, you're not worried about it because you know you're a competent enough lawman, and you've got right. Plus you have the legitimacy of the law behind you because difference paperwork was legitimate.
Yes, so this is a legitimate claim, so...
Well, still,
Oh.
thank you. And she holds out her hand to it so he can kiss it.
He'll kiss it and then say, in the meantime, deal me in.
Okay. We'll drop the pot for today, 50 cents.
50 cents, guys. That's for the cowboy.
Oh,
I can buy 3 pounds of candy for 5 cents.
Yes. Okay. Good. So it's going to be the candy equation for Dustin's 6 guns.
okay.
A nickel gets you 40 pounds of wheat. You know, you make so much bread.
Okay.
So setting a bar at 50 cents is great for a city. This is not even a town. So
How about
Yeah.
a nickel? And that way, if you win, you can buy 6 pounds of candy.
5 cents.
Well, I did pick up that 10-cent piece.
and Calby makes $1 a month. That's what he gets paid.
Yeah. So,
So-
a nickel.
All right, I'll throw in my 5 cents and...
Put in your. We
Can I-
could have made it 2 bits.
It should
I
have
don't
been.
have I don't have my my pliers here, so I can't cut this 10-cent piece. Anyone got to cut?
I'll tell you what. You put the dime in there and then take a nickel back.
That would be stealing.
No.
That'd be stealing.
No, if you put in a dime, you're owed a nickel. Since he already
Says
put in.
who?
There's her, the boss.
Well, if
Yeah, I'll put in a dime and you owe me
No.
a nickel.
Now, better than that. No, better than that. When she said that, you say, "What? You owe me a nickel?" She says, "Yeah, I owe you a nickel." You say, "Great, then pay me my nickel." Put my nickel in
picks up
for
the
me.
nickel that he put in and gives it to him.
No, my joke is that he doesn't actually want to get rid of his dime because that's like all the money he has in the world. So he's trying to hornswoggle this. Oh, okay, so I put this in. You owe me a nickel. Well, great. Then just give me that nickel. I'll use it instead.
She did give him the nickel. That's what she mentioned to begin with. But that's okay. She keeps her very calm, light voice. And what?
Deals
Somehow
everybody
the
in.
dime is still in my pocket.
Yes, and the hand gets dealt. All right.
And the hand gets dealt.
So everybody roll percentage
Five
dice.
cards, Draw.
Well, we're just doing. Not going to do the actual dice rolling. We're just going to replace it with dice rolling. So the person that rolls best will win. Miss V gets to add 65 to her roll. Everybody else can add 5.
I win.
67.
I got the correct number.
What was the correct number?
84 plus
42.
65.
Oh wow, I got 89.
I got 42.
I
Yeah.
got 67.
Yeah, you can argue it all, but Miss V,
Yeah.
Miss V just
49.
scoops. She just scoops it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she would. She just scoops it all
Wow.
But she got an 80 something.
in. She got 100.
84 plus 65.
No, you got it's backwards. Whatever. I got 42. That's the right answer.
Yeah, I can see that. He's going. Oh, this. He's got a jack and a 5 and a 2 and an ace, and he goes, "See, I win." That's not how that works. Consarn it. That's why I'd rather dig in the dirt than.
Oh, fuck.
What?
Oh, man.
Well, I still want my other nickel back.
From the money that's on the table, she gives him. Well, no, she already gave him the nickel. You already have
No,
the nickel.
no, I
back.
need my nickel back. You said you owed me a nickel.
I paid you. a
What
nickel.
you used to buy in, I thought, but
No.
No,
I
I pay. There's a dime, and she said I get nickel back, and
I thought I
should get
gave
my
you
nickel
the
back.
nickel back.
You
I
did.
Don't think you gave me nickel back.
No,
I
she
did
gave you.
give you a nickel from
Got-
the pot.
Yes, even before you put out your dime, she gave you a nickel, thinking that
Yes,
you put
John,
in your
I
dime.
know this.
I'm just clarifying.
But yes, he's clarified. Okay, I paid you back your nickel. I'm sure everybody saw me do it.
Did anyone see her do it? 'Cause I don't see her do it. I don't have a nickel on me.
you have 2.
No, I don't.
Actually, he has one. If he had only a dime to his name.
I
No.
only got my second dime.
So
See?
you
And a nickel.
All I got is my second dime. I ain't got no nickel.
he
I
He
passed
shows
Lawman.
them that all he has is a dime. He has no nickels.
I
Well,
guess
you can't play
Fine.
then.
fine.
It doesn't. Okay. This is anyway. You guys keep your conversation going until whatever dinner time. And and the Scottish Army marches through.
Sorry.
And we should get their help.
Outlaw pipes. Wrong pipes. So, are you going to go out and scope out the thing in the morning, or what's your plan?
I would actually suggest that we maybe if we leave as early as possible, because we want. He's also trying to, if possible, catch them by surprise or unaware. But depending on how far of this canyon is, that may not be possible.
Oh, I know. I love that phrase. One of my. We catch them completely by surprise, and unaware. It's like, oh, wait, isn't that the same thing? All right. So,
Levi has already curled up underneath the table and is sleeping.
So we're leaving in the morning then. First light.
Yep.
All right.
At least that is James's plan.
Well, that's
But
the only
did-
plan that matters.
You are the lawman, so you're taking point. It's different at your side, so to speak, because he's the one who's got the paperwork to make it legitimate. And so you start rousting people at about 3:45 in the morning, getting them up, get their horses saddled, and all of that.
Yep.
Miss V, are you a side saddle kind of girl, or are you throw your leg over wear trousers? Oh, she's on the phone, of course.
I'm a side saddle kind of girl.
I'm sure you are, but that old mule you've got, what's his name? I can't remember the mule's name.
Rosinanton.
Rosinanton. There you go.
How? Okay.
Is it a mule or is it a donkey? I think I could see either one.
Is mule,
All right.
because he drives my mule train.
Oh, one of them, which doesn't work right now because it's got a broken axle.
No, I just
So-
like screaming mule train whenever I get going.
Maybe that's Rosinanton Mule Train. That's his name.
So how bad does his mule look? Since
It's mangy. It's healthy. It's got plenty of grass out here to eat, and it's not like he's going anywhere really fast anyway. So
yeah. Seriously, Reed.
It is
hey,
pulling a cart though. It's got all my stuff in it in the world in it.
all right. Different. What kind of horse you ride? Jacob.
Huh?
I asked different. What kind of horse are you riding?
Well,
Got
I'm
it.
not very well versed in the type of breeds of horse.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking, is it what's its color? Is it a paint? Is it a roan? Paint being spotted, brown and white, or it can be a roan, or it can be a black.
The brown, wrong.
Okay, so it's a reddish brown. So, all right. So he's got a roan mare. What kind of horse you got, Calby? Obviously, you have a horse.
I have a fine silent, pure black, sleek, and damn, it can run like lightning.
Nice. And what do you ride there, Outlaw Man?
I kind of ride. If it's half black, half white. I'm trying to go with like something that fits the theme of pestilence.
Oh, so you ride a gray.
Yeah.
The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be.
He rides on a skeletal horse.
Yeah, nice.
That really fits with pestilence.
Yes, it's gaunt. Yeah. All right, so everybody's saddling up to get going in the morning. Miss V, you back? Can't get her to wake up in the morning.
You didn't ask what type of horse I rode.
Oh, yes, I did. I started with
I
you.
miss you. Oh, I'm sorry.
I hold you personally responsible.
I have a very fine purebred Morgan mare, and she's a Palomino.
All right, so we got every color, and they're all female. That's pretty good. Except for
The
me.
stallion is in
No.
the barn.
Yeah. We know you have this time too.
My black horse is
Except for Rosinanton. Rosinanton's the male mule. Not that it matters.
Hey, next spring there gonna be a lot of mules around here. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. Nice.
Sad part is they can't breathe.
Shh. I knew you were going to go there, Gene. He's
Hey, don't tell him that.
right. Don't say that to poor Rosinanton. He's got high hopes.
Got
He's
high
3/5 donkey, and that means he can diddle.
All right. So as you ride north, to get to Horse Thief Canyon, if you go through the canyon, odds are, if there is a group of bad guys hold up in there, they'd be able to see you. But you could go overland, go inland from the riverbank, and trying to come over the ridge to at least take a look first. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, we'll do that. Like I said, I'm trying to catch them by surprise, if possible.
Well, we could use my dumbwaiter rope.
What would that do?
Just lets us get down the tall way. Halfway down the canyon. Almost to the end. If we go up around the back ways, and then we come up the sideways, and then we go slant ways, and then we can go down the rope, and we'll be there.
They might still see us.
What would happen if they see us while we're trying to come down the rope?
They'll shoot your head off.
Yeah, he's probably right on that. At least they'll try.
Does not sound like the most felicitous way of announcing oneself, hanging on a rope dead.
No.
I'm just saying,
Does
it's
it?
the only... Unless you're planning to jump right down on top of it, it's about a 50-foot drop.
Well, I do think we need to take a look, then decide the best way
Yeah.
plan of attack.
So we'll go up the river.
So you're gonna use the river pass and go straight up their gullet?
This is my expertise. I know them dar hills like the back of my hand.
Different,
Okay.
different,
Oh yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Wakey, wakey.
Come in different. Okay, there you go. You as a expert in gunsmithing, in shooting and gunfights, know that going straight up the pass, straight up the canyon, would be a death trap. You among them would certainly recommend circling around to try to get advantage and look down into the canyon to see what the lay of the land is.
Okay.
So
All right.
when it's recommended that you go right up the gullet, you're going to be the one that's going to want to
You have
recommend
the
it.
responsibility for this action, sir.
You guys go around. I'm going to take this route and see if I find advantage. Find any advantage.
So,
So you're one to branch off and go do the investigation yourself, leaving the rest of the group to go down the middle.
No,
easy.
I'm not going down the middle and have everybody shoot
If
at
he suggests going, I'm gonna suggest follow the shooter's lead and
Hey, in meta real quick.
Uh-huh.
My character may be crazy, but he did say that he knows the layout very well, that he knows a path around the back side of the mountain that leads
Yeah.
straight to where there is a rope where we can get down
Right,
to
right.
their level without being seen.
Right, and I'm just trying to build on the three-way approach here, because he's given you a way in, but you still would want to get if possible, get a vantage point. So literally we're building the plan ABC. See what I'm saying?
So
So
we're gonna
Right.
get a look.
It just
Then
seems
we're
li-
gonna go from above.
you guys, yeah, but
No.
what I'm trying to clarify is that it's not an either or.
We can do both.
Well, you do all of them.
Yeah.
You may want to send somebody down the gullet as a diversion when this comes to be, because you're going to be able to sneak into position through the route that's recommended by.
Oh, I'm lost in the desert.
Well, I guess
and
we
I
know who are
can't
distracted.
Find my way.
I guess we found a purpose for Miss V after all. See? So,
okay, so he
Yeah,
wants
the
to try and
distraction. That's for sure.
distract them.
so the point of this kind
Y'all
of
didn't even ask about my access
Okay.
tunnel.
guys just
Yeah, number one's a
We're
stupid access.
getting there.
yeah. Okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that this process that we're using here is what this play style is kind of about. You're going to build the plan and figure out what everybody's part is in it, and then we do the plan all together. You see what I'm saying?
But I'll have to know when you're in position so you can
That's-
see or be ready to act.
That's
Sure.
why you need to have the
Yeah.
lay of the land, so you guys can visually see what we're talking about, so you can do all of your timing stuff.
I have this
So-
mirror here in my pouch with a few other things. And I guess I could take it out and look at myself and flash some light and if I see some answering flash, perhaps I'll know that you're ready.
That could work. I'm gonna check to see if I have a mirror too.
Actually, that's really funny. So as he's pondering, Lawman Chaos pulls out of his pocket his why did it just slip out of my brain? What do you call the little the alcohol container? Flask. Yeah. So he pulls his little flask out, and it's reflective and shiny on the inside and leather on the outside. And as he pulls it out, he's pondering, and he lifts it to his lips, and he's looking at all of you going, I don't know if I've got anything shiny, as he blinds you all with the backside of his flask. I don't know if I've got anything that I could use as a light.
You could send up a smoke signal, but that flask will
Wait, no, I just was feeding it, that the fact that he's got this flask. But the funny part is he's going, I wonder what I could use. I'll have to think of something as he sips from the flask. You see what I'm saying?
And then
everybody else is like,
I finally noticed the glint as I finished drinking. Oh, okay, maybe this might work. But we
take
still
off the cover and it will be fine. My father had a fine flask like that.
So I'll take off the cover.
No. Okay. So the reason why it's fine as the way it is you only need to reflect the light in one direction. The curved surface of the silver is fine. You don't.
Okay.
I was just saying you'll be able to hold on to the leather part and use the shiny part.
Yeah. So we still need to find the access tunnel.
Okay. Well, we have to. We're climbing up onto the ridge. And as you're climbing across the ridge, there's a thin wisp of smoke rising from the end of Horse Thief Canyon. Somebody is definitely there.
So we know where.
So as you're creeping up, you basically see the entrance to the. As a matter of fact, need to have. Where'd it go? Just a second here. Open the window in front of myself here. I gotta fix that. All right, so we're gonna need nobody has barber, so make a barber check, everybody. 5%.
Whoopsie.
Nope.
Well, no, the
what is the barber check for?
Okay, so the barber check is guys. It's fine detail. So the barbers are the guys that pick out the articles in a newspaper and that kind of thing. So since the reason to have a barber in your party is he tends to pick up information in
yes, but what is this check exactly for?
Well, what we're specifically doing is trying to get into position. No, get into position without being seen. It's the opposite here. You're trying to hide. Yeah. Barbers also tend to be the person that nobody pays attention to.
Do we have to roll under the number?
No, you're rolling and adding that 5%.
Okay.
The check is a 40 or less.
Well,
with my 5, I have a 70.
Yeah, I said that wrong. It's 40 or more.
77.
Okay.
29.
Okay, so one on either side. Levi?
49.
Good to go. Different? And Cowbee, I still need responses. Jacob.
Oh, man.
Hold on.
Cowbee, what'd you get?
Alright, I'm back. It's just that my mom brought tortilla soup.
Oh, tortilla soup. Did you make enough for everybody? Because we'll be over. No, I'm just kidding. Percentage dice I need. Different. You need to roll 40 or better.
I already did that. I rolled 79.
Okay. Cowbee.
+5.
The cowboy has vanished. You guys don't see him any longer. He's separated from the group.
Cowbey's here.
Well, he's slow as black.
No. I just visually got it. Is that while you guys were all getting in position on your side, he was enterprising, and he's actually on the other side of the canyon somehow. And so he's waving.
Amazing that way.
He's
Levi is going to disappear and see if he can find that air tunnel that he made a long time ago into the back side of this vent. And I'm gonna go to class.
all right. You have a good time.
I might be back. I might not.
Okay.
See you later.
And if you're
Yeah.
not back, we will always wonder what happened to Levi Bartholomew Goldright.
So will I. See you later.
See ya.
But I will claim
Yeah.
his mine.
You won't. It's in my wills that you'll never
Well, you
find.
just left it to me. I was the last person you ever dealt with.
And you're also the last one with the last word since he's not here anymore. All right.
Yeah.
So now, so without the prospector, it's a good thing that Cowboy got into position. From where he's at, he can cover the first part of the approach because he's got a good clean eye down the entryway where Miss Variability will be coming. From this position, the lawman will definitely be able to hold his position. So it's going to be up to Different to actually climb down the rope at the midpoint and try to find that secret tunnel. It'll be a little more difficult without the prospector because he promised he'd tell you where it is, but he's not here now. So is everybody ready to make this attempt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. So first of all, Miss Variability. I'm sorry. We've got Cowboy in position, Chaos in position. Different. You need to go ahead and roll to see if you can find that rope ladder. You need 75 or less.
The one?
You
Oh,
roll
wait.
percentage. And add your relative score to this,
Right.
which would be barber.
Right.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
No.
Cowboy.
No, I'm talking to Different. I'm still talking to Different.
Oh, okay.
Jacob.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to be more on the ball, please.
You've got to realize that when I say Different, I'm meaning Jacob every time. That's your
Yeah.
character's name. So you need to listen for Different. So I need you to roll a percentage dice. Add 5. You're gonna. The dice roll is 45 because you're using barber skill.
96.
96. You guys, as you're all in position and you think you're ready to do this plan, something horrible has happened. You hear a scrape and a cry, and dust rises about halfway down the canyon. Different.
That's a distraction.
Different may have found the rope, but he's fallen. Closest is going to be Miss Variability, who's supposed to be doing the distraction anyway. So, are you going to go ahead and head on in?
Yeah,
That wasn't the original signal, but now you got to improvise. So, Miss Variability, because we're now depending on your Southern charm, get to use your full 95%. But because there's been a difficulty, you're going to have to overcome that 91 he rolled against a 45, which means you got to roll at a listen, you have to roll at a minus 46. So minus 46 off of your 95 leaves you with 41.
41.
So
Okay.
percentage dice under 41.
I have to dice under 41 or
Yes.
over?
Under. That's after all your mods. Because you got the plus. You got the plus of 95, but a minus of 40 something. 45.
So
46.
that leaves me 55. No,
51. 51. You're right.
51.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because I rolled 46.
Okay. Well, she's recovered nicely as you're literally standing over the downed body of Different, who's grabbing his ankle. He clearly hurt himself when he fell down the canyon.
The horse comes running in. She's fallen all over the saddle gracefully. Help! Help! He's running away with me. Please, help! Someone help! That's what she screamed.
But that he's running away with you, but he's the one who's got a broken ankle.
The horse. The horse is running away from me down the canyon.
Oh, I got you. You slapped the horse on the butt. Got you. Okay.
And I'm gracefully look all discombobulated on back of this horse.
Oh. Okay.
And we're charging in. Help someone, please.
Okay, for clarification, you're riding away towards the canyon.
I'm riding into the canyon.
Okay, so you're coming right in.
I
Got
wasn't
you.
up with them. I was down.
I know.
outside.
I'm just clarifying that you're moving forward, leaving different on the ground with a broken ankle.
In front of me? Is that what it is? Oh,
Let me.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize he fell in front of me.
Yeah, that was the point. Is he was using the midpoint rope entrance that Prospector had told us about. Remember?
Okay.
So he was at the halfway point. He was supposed to get in a position to cover your midpoint transition, but he's fallen down into the canyon instead.
Okay.
So
then
you
he's not yelling.
improvise. So you improvised by riding up to see him, and then you made your die roll, which means you're going to be the diversion. But are you diverting them to where different is, or are you diverting them
No,
someplace else?
that was my original intent, is to draw attention to myself and not to him. So
Right,
the
but
first
if you're,
scream-
but if you're, yeah, but if the first scream is not heard until you're already where different is, you're running away from the canyon, and that won't necessarily draw the
No, I
attention.
want to run into the canyon. Is what I want to do.
Okay, so you're running towards the canyon, leaving different on the ground.
Right now, yeah. Well, I don't want people to come and find them in that condition.
Okay. Okay. So different when you get up off the ground, your ankle is okay because she got there and you're able to get around. At least you can walk, but you're not going to be running anyplace any soon, and you're no longer in position. So you're now going to have to cover her from the ground. As she heads into the canyon to be the diversion, for the first time, Chaos and Cowbee can see the scoundrels, the varmints, as they come out of their hiding places, kind of surprised at the sound of a woman's voice.
How many varmints are we talking about?
There are 5. And one of them, the one who apparently is the boss, is Gordon, whatever his last name was.
Dickerson.
Yeah,
Witherspoon.
Dickerson.
Witherspoon. Dickerson, whatever. Yes.
Of a fond Southern Dickerson family.
Anyway, he's shouting something at the 2 young kids that are with him. They're Southern idealists who didn't own any land anyway, never owned any slaves, but just were romantic to the idea of being a rebel against the government. So he's got a total of 4 guys with him. So a total of 5.
Okay.
Chaos, looks like you might be able to get 2 of them. Cowbee, you can try to get 2 of them. If you go for 1, your chance rating will be at 65. With your plus 95s for each of you, you should be okay. But she actually gives you a plus 1, so you're at 60. So you have 90. You have a total of 96 points. But you choose whether you're going to go after 1 guy or multiple guys. If you go against multiple guys, you have to split that modifier.
Okay, so if we went after 2, what would the split look like?
You get to pick it. You get to pick it. This is what's cool about this is you got that 95 points. You can use it however you want. So you can put it all on 1 guy and guarantee pretty much you're going to be able to cap 1 guy, but you can try to wing 2 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go since I have 96.
And you could actually, theoretically, you could actually do like in the westerns and fire off all 6 bullets and try to get 6 different guys.
No, I'm actually trying to go for 2, 3 on each.
Okay. Okay, so therefore you're going to roll against, and how are you splitting it? Evenly?
Yeah.
So that would be 48.
70.5. 48.5.
40.
140.
No, it's 96. It's 96. It's 96.
So 48 exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So 48 to each one,
Yeah.
and you roll 3 times. But just do the first one now. First one on each of them. Plus 45 on the die roll.
So that would be a 71.
Okay. They had no cover, so therefore, yeah, you're able to shoot 2 of them. Roll a d6 for me.
Two.
Okay, are you going after this rapid fire? So you're just going to unload your gun, or or is this the more theatrical point and shoot and just one each?
I was gonna do actually because his last name is Chaos. He would do rapid fire.
Okay, so you're actually doing that cool thing where they fan the hammer, tack 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 tack. So go ahead and roll for all 3 of them on each one.
So I just roll 3d6.
No, you're rolling percentage dice 3 times. I just wanted to know whether you were doing it all at once or whether you were being more discriminate. Calby, are you gonna open up on these guys?
Yeah.
Okay, and you could actually theoretically shoot one at every one of them and have a bullet left over, or you can go slow and pick a target. Which do you want?
I'm gonna go slow. Pick a target, the one that has their gun closest to.
Sure, go ahead and roll.
For the second one, 73.
Yep, that'll also hit. So you got them both.
75.
75? Yeah, you definitely put one right through a guy. He crumples and falls. The other 3, the ones that are uninjured, dive for cover. Though the ones that that have already been hit, the 2 that were wounded by the marshal, are crawling for cover. Gordon has jumped back into the cave and he's hidden by a wagon that's laying on its side.
Gordon.
Okay, Miss Variability, you're riding into the scene. Are you?
Yes.
Are you? As you come around the corner, you see 3 men down, two of them crawling behind cover, and the third one laying flat, face down in the street. You don't see the others, but you can see your 2 associates up at elevation. They're motioning towards the cave.
Since they've already sprung the trap, I won't have all the men's attention on me. I think it's now time to pull up and find some place that I can hide behind and shoot from.
All right, so she pulls up, leaps off her horse, jumps behind a couple of barrels near the entrance of the canyon. You are close to where the gang's horses are tied though. So.
Oh, give them no method of escape.
Exactly. All right, so Calby, you no longer have a line of sight on anybody. Are you going to move down the canyon towards them, or are you going to try to circle back around, or are you going to just hold your position? What's your plan?
Cool. Different.
You don't see different. No, different is down the canyon. I'm talking to you, Calby.
Oh, Calby. Oh, you're talking to me. Okay. I'm gonna shoot. See if there's a leg.
As I said, you can't see anybody. They've run for cover. So I'm
asking. Is there a rock on top of where they're at? Like, is there can I shoot at a rock and it just falls down?
Try to knock rocks down on him? No, this is a sandstone canyon bluff. So if you shut the wall, all you do is create a blast of sand. It wouldn't actually knock any rocks off.
I'm gonna yell for my old friend. Hey, Miss. Oh, damn it! I forgot his name already. Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon.
Colonel
Gordon would be his rank.
Colonel Gordon, I recommend you give up and surrender peacefully.
There's a silence for a bit, and voice comes back. Clarence D. Cowboy, is that you?
Yes.
You son of a bitch! You drag these suckers in here and bring a posse down on me. What kind of loyalty is that, boy?
There's a good amount of money on your head. I need to pay for my food.
Well,
You have not been around for quite a while.
That's a fair point, boy. But I did send you that letter. Did you get that letter?
What letter?
You wouldn't have been able. You wouldn't even known if when you don't even know that the post office doesn't even know where to find you. So it's not like a letter could have gotten to you anyway.
What letter are you talking about? How will you tell me what this letter said?
This letter gives you a rank and title in the Confederate Army of Texas.
What? Why didn't you say so sooner?
Well, I'm saying it now. Now turn them guns on your associates. Help us get out of here, and I'll get you that promotion to sergeant you wanted.
What?
Money or a sergeant in an army that doesn't exist.
I'm laughing, Jeez. Let me enjoy my laughter, dang it.
Yeah.
Well, Sergeant, I would totally agree with this idea, but how about you give up? I get them to stop shooting at you, and we like talk it out. Bygones be bygones, you know?
Okay.
So how about you head out first?
While this is going on, different. You're up and on your feet. You heading down the canyon to back up your friends, or are you going to just stay there and cover the retreat? This is for different. I'm asking different. You're killing me, Smalls. You doing what? What are you doing?
Where's Gordon?
Gordon is in the cave. He's been hollering. Have you been listening? Okay.
Do you listen to us when we talk?
It's I kind of doze off somewhere else.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna...
The trick is that the role play games, you kind of have to stay present with us. So do what you can to try to keep that up, because especially when the team is depending on you, you got to know what's going on so that you can give your recommendation. So Gordon is in the cave. You can hear him talking with Cowbee, and it sounds like he's trying to corrupt Cowbee to join him. This would no doubt upset you because you're trying to get the bounty on him. So what do you want to do? Your ankle is getting a little bit better, so you can limp along towards the canyon where everybody else is, or you can hold your ground and cover the retreat so that they don't escape.
Oh, cover the retreat.
Okay, so you just kind of hunker down and wait for them to make their run for it. All right, Lawman Chaos. Are you also have lost sight of your prey because they've moved back under the rocks? What little advantage you had is evaporated. So are you going to climb down the canyon from here? It'll take you a little while, or are you going to try to circle around and find the rope that Different used, or what? What's your plan?
I'm gonna circle around because I don't want to get a hail of bullets as I run down. So I'm gonna try to circle around and use the rope.
All right. So you're circling around to use the rope. The hail of bullets, therefore, that come out of the canyon are going to be aimed, unfortunately, at Miss Variability. Fortunately, she's got decent cover, but she's kind of pinned down now. There are bullets flying from several different directions, caroming off the walls and ricocheting down the canyon.
Okay.
So the damsel is now in distress. So, Difference hanging back and covering the retreat. Cowbee, you've
I'm trying to convince him to get out.
Right, but are you staying in one spot or are you moving?
I have a good angle from here. I'm fine.
You got a good angle, but no targets. There's nobody in.
That's fine. I can wait until they come out. They have to come out.
Okay, so you're talking to him some more. Go ahead. It was your exchange anyway. Go ahead.
How
Like
close
I
are the
said-
horses? Oh, sorry.
Like I said, General.
General.
Sorry.
I got promoted from colonel to general. That's awfully generous of you. You writing the checks now?
Sorry, I meant Colonel. I always assumed you would get promoted. That's why I said it. Sorry. I have much respect for you, sir. But that's why I need you to call down your posse, tell them to hold up, put down the weapon so we can talk. Because I want to have a talk with you.
And
I don't like having this whole shootout here.
Right. Well, you've been talking for a while, and there's other people moving around. Right here in the middle of the sentence, you feel the cold steel barrel of a 6-gun at the side of your head. Don't do anything crazy, boy. It's one of the young guys that worked for him, one of the healthy ones that crawled up the canyon.
Did you not hear your boss?
Did
you not hear your boss?
Put down the gun.
I am a part of your posse, and you're aiming your gun at me?
Put the gun down.
I turn around slowly and look at him. And then I'm going to go for a roll of smack. His gun is close to my head, right?
Yeah. He's got it pointed at you. He nudged you with it. He's standing over you.
So I'm gonna. Here, give me a second. Let me turn on the camera for a moment. So I'm going I'm going like this. I'm keeping my hands forward. Turn my head so I know the gun is between my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna do a roll of whatever roll you want me to do. And smack the gun both sides like so. So the gun will launch.
Okay. So the Cowbee is not nearly the martial fighter, but you are a bit of a scrappy guy. So I'll give you 50%. So roll under 50%.
33.
Okay, so a shot goes off. You guys down below hear yet another bullet fire. There's a scrabble at the top, and in movie fashion, the two of you tumble down the mountain, down the canyon, wrestling for the gun. As you get to the bottom, you roll and I roll, and let me get my randomizer here. And
the highest is on top, or the lowest is on top?
The lowest. The lower roll actually is in control of the gun at the end. So go ahead and roll percentage dice.
53.
Okay. So at the bottom, there's a second crack of a bullet, and you've been winged. He's got the pistol in his hand.
I'm gonna tap my name tag.
Okay, so go ahead.
I'm gonna go with it's the same number.
Yep. So he's got you dead, literally dead to rights. He's got the gun pointed at you, and you've already been winged.
Son of a bitch! How dare you?
He shouts down, Colonel, I got him. I'm bringing him down. I'm bringing him in. Gordon shouts out, "You out there, different?" Jacob, if you're not going to pay attention, we may not be able to have you play. Did you hear me say, different? Are you out there?
I fire off a shot.
At what?
You're down the canyon and there's no one around. If you shoot randomly down the canyon, so
I have to advance.
You either have to move up or you have to stay where you are and not respond because you're being called out by your prey. Okay, so as you move up, you can see the precarious position that Miss V is in. She's huddled against a rock, and they've got 3 different angles of fire on her. Eventually, they're going to get so they can get a shot on her. Beyond that, you can see the cave entrance is open, and you see Cowbee being pushed down the rock at gunpoint by Billy Ray, one of the guys you used to work with.
And I'm sorry, Gordon. This ends here and now.
Yep, and it looks to me like I'm going to win this round. I got your boy Cowbee here, and I'm going to put a bullet in his brain pan. If you don't withdraw, Get the hell out of here. Leave us be.
It's the guy that's with Calby. He's walking down the canyon. If you can hear Gordon, you should be able to see Calby and the
Yeah, he can.
captor. So shoot the guy that's holding Calby.
That's what she's shouting from the rock. She's going, shoot him! Shoot him!
I'll aim my Calaman revolver at Gordon's pistol.
Not Gordon's.
Gordon. Billy Ray.
Billy Ray. You're going to shoot at Billy Ray's pistol. Called shot. Go ahead. That's going to be a minus 80 against your 95. I don't know. You're minus 60 against your 95. So it's a plus. It's a 35 or less.
Under 60?
It's going to be under 35.
Ooh.
It's got called shot. You're actually trying to shoot his pistol.
Shoot the man.
I'll shoot.
It's theatrical. It's theatrical to shoot for the gun. I totally get why he's doing it.
So when I roll a number, do I have to be under to succeed or above?
Under 35.
35. You said 35, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I rolled 31.
Oh.
Nice.
All right. The pistol goes flying. You recognize the sound of the shot being so close to you, Cowby, and you heard the metal ring and a curse from Billy Ray behind you. What do you do?
I jump for the gun.
Oh, the gun's destroyed. No, the gun was destroyed because he shot the
I'm
pistol.
get my knife and stab him in the throat.
There we go. Pull a boot knife and go for it. Roll to hit. Plus 65. So the window is 80. The window's 80. Windows 80. So you made it. Okay, so you've stabbed him, and now you've got hit the advantage on him. You're still in the open, though. You can still feel that creepy feeling of knowing that guns are pointed at you, but you got the other guy for cover.
I look at him, and I like with the sword, like I feel like I had a sword and a blood trail. Like, this is what happens when you mess with me.
Okay.
You know that.
Okay.
That's why we fought to you.
So
That's how we survived.
So he ends Billy Ray gratuitously by just pulling a knife across his throat. As he does, he makes him perfectly open.
No, I'm hiding behind him, by the way.
What's that?
I'm using
You could have used him as a shield.
He still is, but yeah, but he's 155 pounds that you're holding up instead of letting him do his own walking. So,
okay.
So you cut him. Your blood is pouring down your arm because you're holding him around the chest as you cut his throat. So the blood's pouring down your arm, over your arm as you're holding him up. Bullets come flying in. Billy does a bit of the bullet dance because his nerve reaction is still going to respond, even though his brain is fundamentally dead as he's dying there in your arms. So while they're diverted, V, you have an opportunity. You said something about the horses?
Yep. I'm going to get the horses and stampede them out of the canyon.
Nice. She runs over, lifts the gate, throws it open, and starts shouting, and the horses take off running.
Absolutely.
Gordon takes the bead and shoots at you, narrowly missing. The wood beside you splinters at the top of the gate, and you basically look down the smoking barrel of Gordon's gun as he stands in the entrance of the cave. Because of that, he's made himself open to different. You've got a shot at him. You're going to need a 45 or less.
Roll your dice.
Yeah, roll your dice.
And tell us what you got on the 20 and on the 1.
Yeah, just roll it right now. Like, don't even think about the number. Just roll it.
Well, yesterday I lost my big dice. It was sitting right with the other one, and today I come in and there's a 20 in the. That's
the reason why you got problems with your little dice. Is you can't trust them when they're around. When they're not around, they're bullies on the big ones. So they probably ate him.
Awful.
They ganged up on him and ate him. What a tragedy! The scandal of dice cannibals. That's the worst.
Dice on dice crime.
Dice on dice crime. What'd you get? Different.
I'm not rolling well.
Well,
What did
yeah,
you
roll.
get?
What did you get?
What is the number under?
Just
Don't
roll it. It's
just
okay.
roll. Just roll it. We'll take care of it.
16.
All right. Gordon spins inside the cave. He says, "You hear his body hit the ground."
Doesn't mean don't trust that. Tricky those rebels are.
Rebel scum. Sorry. I love Star Wars.
I still have the two other ones beside me, right? One is down.
Two.
Down.
Yeah, two. Only two are left, and they're still in cover.
Okay.
And there's also the two that are injured that crawled behind cover, so that they're technically 2.5, if you will.
Okay, 2.5. She looks for a place that she can fire from where she's partially covered.
Okay, so you'd have to run across the open space to the water trough where the horses were drinking.
Okay.
So
She crawls there.
Nice. Okay, so it's gonna take you a while in that skirt to crawl. So
Yeah, she's hiked it up.
yeah, I get that, but it's still that much bunched up cloth in front of you is gonna be a pain in
Yep,
the butt.
it's awkward.
Hey,
Damn,
God,
I think I'm
I got
going
it, I got it.
to wearing pants out here. Oh, darnation. I wouldn't have said damn. I would have said darnation.
Yeah.
And anyway, so she makes her way low to the ground. and
Okay.
gets to
So
the
as you're making it, different is at your back. He's still firing his from range. Different. I assume you said pistol, but at that range you'd have to be using a rifle. Just for clarification, you wouldn't be able to hit anything with a pistol. Back then, the pistols were only.
You aimed it upwards, and you got really lucky with the wind.
Well, yeah, but shooting into a cave entrance, forget about it. The air dynamics in front of a cave are horrible.
Dude, stuck in air.
Plus, you'd be entering a killing field because that open space where the two other desperados have clear opening of the area.
I had a pretty good idea where they hit.
Lawman, you've made it to the rope. You're gonna climb down.
Yes. So what would that be?
Difficulty of 25. I'll give you 5 modifiers to 30.
Okay. No, I possibly break my leg with an 80 or worse.
Name tag.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my name tag.
All right. Reroll.
It doesn't always work. I mean, it just tell you this.
Just don't do it with difference, Sid. Get the same
Oh,
number.
wow, okay. 6. You said plus 5?
Well, no, okay. So just for clarification, in the rules, when I give you a plus number, that plus number is opening the window. So if it was a 25%, but because you're using that 5%, it's now 30 instead of 25. It gets better.
Yeah, I got a 1%.
You rolled a 1. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
what a save.
So you basically do the rappelling. You grab the edge of the rope and just walk yourself right on down into it. You're now behind Different, and you can see him cowering behind a rock bluff, looking at the cave. You see Lady V very ungraciously crawling across the horse pen, moving horse apples out of the way as she tries to make it to the water trough that'll give her cover. But you don't see either of the other two gunmen. And you don't even know how many, so you probably need to verify with Different how many are left.
How many we got left here? I heard a shot, several shots, but I don't know whether that was us or them.
Well, you can also see Cowby's got the dead body of one of the Rebs in his hands, and blood is all over. It's just pouring out of the body all over his arm. He basically cut the guy's throat while holding him up.
There's 2 unwounded, 1 wounded, and we're not sure about Gordon. I saw him spin around. I heard a thud, but
that doesn't necessarily mean
it doesn't really mean anything. It could be
I'm
fine
gonna say that
acting
it's-
on his part.
Surrender.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, whoever is out there, your boss may be dead or wounded. Is all this really worth your lives?
I ain't dead. I'm waiting for you, Ranger. Why don't you just send these other folks away and you and I can handle this the old-fashioned way?
Unfortunately, if we did that, Gordon, the contract is for my associate Different here. He's the one that gives me the authority.
Oh, good. Then I'm calling Different out.
So?
I'm right here.
So, you want to go...
So you'll let my boys live if I come out there and they handle this man-to-man like they're supposed to?
If they
Yeah,
can keep
no.
their
Man to
promise.
man, he should have surrendered at the end of the war.
Wow, that's racist.
No, it's not racist, but yes.
No, I know, but
Well,
I'm saying.
That was in.
It's the truth.
No. No, you're right. You're right. No, and I can just see Calby look at you. Actually, I can imagine he's holding that body up, and you say that, and he just like slumps the body, like what? Then there's another shot at him, so he has to cover himself back up with the dead body.
The Confederate had the right to win the war. They were just protecting their
They
property.
lost the war.
Oh, boy.
I'm just
Do
fucking-
we really have to get into politics at this point?
Yes,
That's-
this is all politics.
That's-
He's a soldier.
That's what I'm saying, Gordon. Let me just handle this with Different face-to-face, man-to-man, and you'll let my boys go.
No.
Wait, Gordon? You mean
They're,
different?
they're ruffians. They're
Different.
murderers. They're
Gordon,
thieves.
Gordon's calling out Different.
Okay.
Is Different responding at all?
If they could keep their end of the bargain.
Their end of the bargain, they ain't doing nothing. They're protecting themselves in the hills. I'm just clarifying that you and I are going to handle this one-on-one, man-to-man. Matter of fact, we're going to handle this better than an Appomattox.
I would trust his word. He's a man of his word.
I wouldn't trust them as far as you can
Why
see
you're
them.
not? You have not been saved by this man.
She's crawled.
No.
Okay, you finally made it to the water trough. You got a vantage point, and you see that Gordon is working on something. You can't quite get a bead on him because he's got some cover, but you see his hands are working on something back there.
Probably alien technology. That'd be so great. Actually.
Explosives.
Can't really make it out.
Gordon?
You can't trust them. You can't.
All right,
You know,
then
Gordon,
kill him.
there's something you didn't know.
Shoot him if you got a shot on him. Vanessa.
What are we doing? It's
I-
sun's got to be getting hot out there. Your friends are probably gonna die if you don't make this right.
You know,
I'm fine. I got all this water.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not. The only thing I can drink is blood. Okay.
right. Not only that, you got the worst problem than that. That body's gotten heavy and slippery, and it's sliding out of your hands.
Is there a rock near me by chance?
There are barrels down by the entry, but they've got X's on them.
Can I shoot the barrels?
You could.
I'm gonna shoot a barrel.
Okay.
See what happens.
Okay. Roll percentage dice. Under 95.
44.
I think 44 is under 95.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why do
Boom!
you-
Big
why do you
explosion.
guys question simple numbers.
Oh, sorry. It's just my roll was weird. It landed weird. I was like,
Yeah, big explosion. Lots of dust. You have you now have visual cover if you want to make a run for it, V, to get even closer. Because
Okay.
Are these still alive? Honestly, though, that's
We don't know, do we?
no, the barrel is out in the clear, out in the
okay.
open, away from everything else.
Okay,
It was a place that V could have used for cover, but you blew it up to keep her from getting blown up. So that was actually wise of you.
Yes, because I certainly didn't see the V on it. No one ever told me there was a V on it.
Gordon.
Or an X.
What did you do different?
I'm going to shoot my revolver at Gordon's leg.
what? No, you have to duel
He's
him.
No, he doesn't.
Well, he's shooting into the cave entrance. He's just blasting away. You're down another 6 bullets. You have to reload.
Okay.
I'll duel him if this doesn't do any work.
I load 3 rounds.
What? No.
What?
He's
Yeah.
saying that you're wasting your ammo, and you need to
Reload.
yeah.
Reload.
Go ahead and reload.
So while you're reloading, as you're in the process of reloading, you can now see one of the 2 uninjured desperados is poised to leap from his position down on Lady V, who is just about to make it to some cover.
How many rounds did I have loaded in?
6.
No, you're in that. You would be loading 6. You're about halfway done. So you got 3 bullets in the gun, and you see this
could
happen.
snap it shut and use those 3.
I'll.
Well, didn't we say he was using a rifle?
No, he's trying to move in. Well, he was originally going to shoot the guy with a pistol, so he's.
Okay.
That's why I said he's not hitting anything, because he's shooting with a pistol at the opening of the cave. And now you're going to draw. You're going to use the pistol. It's you're sure. Go ahead and pull the pistol and snap it shut and take your shot. But first of all, roll a d6.
D6.
Yep.
4.
Okay. Now roll percentage dice.
$12.
Okay. Yeah. As you step forward and point at the guy, the gun goes click. Because when you're only half loaded, there's about a 50-50 shot that when it closed onto an empty chamber. In this case, that's what's happened, is your weapon does not fire. As you miss, you feel the hot burning in your lower right thigh as a bullet from the other guy enters you, and you spin to the ground, been hit in the hip. Yeah, you'd hear him roar as he falls to the ground. And Lady V, you now have a beat on either of the 2. The one that was going to shoot at you, which he tried to shoot at, is about ready to leap down. You can see him now because the attack by different drew attention to him.
So so what she does is she'll shoot the one that is, or try to shoot the one.
As he's leaping at you. Go ahead and roll.
18.
Wow.
Don't.
You guys are amazing on the percentage
Well,
dice today.
that's the first
I
time I
failed
rolled
usually,
under
but-
70.
No, I know. I'm just saying. As he turns and leaps, you fire, and half of his head basically vaporizes as he falls all over you, spraying blood.
Ooh.
Now you're a woman. That makes no sense.
It made absolutely no sense.
She rolls him off of her.
Yep. That dress is ruined. That's all you got to be thinking is, God dang, I got to buy another dress. It was already dirty, covered with horse manure, and now it's just spattered with blood.
Well, she already stole money from, played money out of us, so she has the money to buy a new dress. It's all good.
She does.
What do you think my dresses cost?
I don't know, man. But ma'am, I don't know, but
Off pretty.
I'll buy you a dress if you get me out of this alive. How was that?
1860.
I'll be delighted, she yells out.
Okay, so Gordon goes, okay, can we stop with the dating action and handle this business? I ain't.
Quiet down, and I fire my gun towards him.
Okay, again, lots of shots into that cave. Bow, 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 bow.
That's all right. I just need.
He
some
waits.
respect here.
He waits till you run out of bullets and start reloading. He goes, "Miss me."
I'm not shooting a bunch of them. I'm shooting one bullet, sir. One bullet out of the 2 bullets I shot.
Yeah, he goes, "Miss me."
Yeah, I know. I just wanted your attention.
Okay, lawman, you're coming down the canyon now. You see that there's a kind of a quite literally a Mexican standoff here because Gordon has challenged Different to a straight gunfight, asking quarter for his men, but no one is offering quarter, and then they got into a second tussle. So there's a conflagration of a firefight ahead of you.
Okay, so I, being me, am going to. Can I, like, I'm gonna first look around to see if, like, how many positions are on me if I go straight for it.
Okay, now all of their positions have been compromised. Here's the way it happened because I knew you were away from the screen for a moment. The 2 desperados that were hiding, one of them got in a position to leap down onto where Lady V was hiding to try to tackle her. But Different saw that, and so Different took a shot at him. But his gun wasn't fully loaded, and so it misfired, and he didn't actually fire the weapon. As that happened, the other desperado revealed himself, firing a rifle at Different and hitting him in the hip. So between you and you see Different now laying on the ground, blood pouring from his hip. He's basically, his jeans are soaking red in the hot desert sun. But you can actually now see both of the other 2 desperados, and Gordon is actually further come forward and was talking behind cover, and so you got clear beads on either of the 2 gunmen.
So I'm gonna shoot the one on the right.
Okay, that's the one that actually shot Different. So go ahead and roll percentage.
Yeah, get that revenge.
It's 65 or less.
So I had 5, so that would be
You wouldn't add 5. You'd add your full. You're 95 minus that's why it was 65. So as long as you roll under 65, you're good. There's no more adds. You're already.
Yeah. So 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's 3 numbers under 20 out of this round alone.
I know.
That's pretty amazing. All right, you hit him, and he does the Wilford cry as he leaps off of the rock, does a tumble into the canyon, lays there dead. Ah!
Wait, don't you mean the Wilhelm scream?
That's what I meant, Wilhelm.
I think that's 2 down, 3 down.
It's 3 down.
1 wounded, and you, Mr. Golden.
I will, after my shot, point the gun at Gordon. You're really outnumbered here. Do the sensible thing and surrender.
I will never surrender to a Yankee like you.
What about me? I'm no Yankee.
Shut up, Cowby. You know your place. You were never shit, and you're still not shit.
Damn.
I'm going to revoke your rank as sheriff. You're now back down to gun buddy.
Well, that's fair. Damn it.
No.
So Different should be the one stepping forward because it's his target. So
I will step aside and nod to Different.
As you're walking forward, are you going to finish loading your gun now?
or before you walk
me?
forward.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
finish loading your gun now, or are you gonna wait and do it as you walk?
I'll finish my reload.
Okay. So now you got your gun completely loaded. Is it in your holster, or are you walking forward with it out?
In my holster.
Alright, he's ready for the duel.
Okay. Is there a place where I can get a good shot on
Oh, she's up,
Gordon
right?
if he comes out?
Actually, your positioning right now, if you only had a rifle, you'd be good. But all you've got is that little pistol, that little pea shooter.
He shoots.
You do see that there's that
Guy blew his brains out.
yeah, there is a rifle out there in the clear where the guy fell from the position.
I'm gonna make a try for the rifle.
Okay, so making the try for the rifle, and I imagine that to be the theatrical run and jump and then tumble, so you don't
And
get
then
shot
shoot.
at. Right, and then try.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go with that as a 3-step move. You're going to have to roll 35%, and then 65%, and then 95%, all or lower. So the first part's the most difficult. That's opening. That's crossing the opening.
Here's a hard one.
27.
She makes 30. Go on to the next one.
52.
And final.
75.
Okay, so she jumps, tumbles, takes a shot. Unfortunately, she doesn't have quite as clear an angle from there as she did when she was in cover. So the shot goes into some of the terrain just in front of the cave. But you do have the rifle now.
Okay.
And you're also on the ground and next to the body of the guy that just fell off the cliff. So
Well,
there's
she
perfect. He's
situates
covered.
herself behind the body.
right. And as you're
And then
as you're doing so, you feel a sting, if you will, on your forehead, and blood starts pouring down. The wounded guy, the one that was hiding from the beginning, was hiding on the other side of the water trough. So when you jumped up and ran, all he had to do was turn around and literally shot you in the back of the head. Fortunately, you as a lady of grace and class have that big pile of hair on the top of your head, so it's only a graze, but the blood's running down your face and into your eyes.
Now you need to get revenge.
so
girl.
what she has a handkerchief in her pouch.
Yep,
She takes it out and she wraps it around her head.
nice. All right, so you're doing that. What are you doing different? This is your prey. This is your man. You've got
think
a
we should get a
loaded
duel.
pistol. He's already
duel.
called
Wait.
you out. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to accept it.
Are you gonna accept the duel, man? Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Look you're kind of at a disadvantage, sir.
You're going to do what?
You are standing on a bad leg and you have a bad foot. I mean, you hardly have a leg to stand on.
BP.
Thank you. What do I put it on?
Characters have BPs that we can't even use.
No, these are for the player. You can always use a BP. So
So have more. Okay.
So this is those are transmittable from game to game, even if the characters aren't transferable.
I thought the BP was only for that player, that character.
Yeah, this is fast and
In the
loose.
normal game.
Right, the roulette's different.
Oh, I could have used BP, man. Oh,
Where's Gordon?
He's still in the cave. He's still waiting for you to answer him.
I
are
accept.
you gonna do him?
Let's do
Answer
it.
him.
I accept,
I
he said.
accept
You accept what, boy?
for the duel.
You've already wounded my man and killed him. Deal's off. You come in here and get me. If you're man enough.
There's another whole box of explosives if we roll it towards the front of the him.
Oh, that's what you've noticed is that when you saw him back there messing around, he
I'm
actually.
back. Where are we at?
Oh goodness! Here he goes. He goes. I found it. He comes out of a cave entrance hidden halfway up the ridge above the actual entrance. So he's literally standing about 15 feet directly above the cave that Gordon is in, and goes, "I found it. Here it is. Told you there was one.
We get
There's
in here
one
without them
wounded
varmints knowing.
and golden, and he's
Okay.
in your cave.
Okay, so actually try to visualize what's gone on so far and describe what it is, Lady V. Since you have the best vantage position, being laying out there in the open.
I'm in the open
Standing
behind
up.
the body with a rifle. We scattered their horses.
The body
Well,
she's
Mr.
hiding behind.
Different-
The body she's hiding behind has half of its head blown off.
I blew it off. Mr. Different there, the man with the gun standing out there, he fell from the wall and hurt himself. Then he was shot in the hip, and now he wanted to have a duel with Mr. Gordon there. But I wouldn't trust any Confederate officer who didn't surrender properly. Mr. Cowby, he's wounded. He killed one.
Can I be wounded? Oh, I am wounded. I am wounded. You're right.
Yeah.
And Mr. Chaos, I don't
killed
think
two, by
he's
the way.
wounded, but he took down one too. So we got half a person and Mr. Gordon who won't come out of the thing, and
He's
he
in
might
your-
have explosives in there.
Well, I know I have some in my cart. I don't know if I left any in the mine, though.
There was two
Hey.
big barrels out in front. There's one left. Somebody
Dude, I
exploded
got
the
shot.
first one. The second one's still there.
Well, I usually keep a couple sticks around on my cart at all times.
Then you
Well, I
gotta.
bet Mr. Ramsey has them all set up to go. If Mr. Difference in there goes in after him, I don't think it's a wise idea.
Well, he's dead or alive, right? Let's blow him to smithereens. Then he'd be dead for sure.
Well,
Change your character name back,
elucidate me
Travis.
on how you're going to do that.
Travis, change your name back to your character's name because I was going to call on it and I just can't remember what it was.
I think. What was my name?
Levi,
Jake
something
Gomes.
Goldbright.
Oh yeah, you
Bartholomew.
Goldbright.
Leave that. Go right.
in,
Goldbright.
about that time,
Goldbright.
Gordon goes, Levi Goldbright, you're
That's me.
this your cave?
It's my cave.
Well, tell you what, I'll split the reward 50-50 if you shoot that Mr. Different for me.
What reward?
Why, he's a wanted Confederate criminal. He escaped the justice of Appomattox. He's a war
That's
What are you
criminal.
talking about, boy? That's what they said about you.
He used to be in my unit. I know I'm a low-down dog, but you're saddling up with one of them.
Yeah, but he's got the papers on his side, and I don't know if I rightly read them, but paper's paper.
And I don't see how the Confederacy can back anything right now. It lost its butt.
The South will never fall. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
It is
That-
falling so low, and you can't figure out that up is up and down is down.
That coward at Appomattox. Yeah.
Can I roll to see if I have one of my sticks of dynamite somewhere on my person?
Sure, since you happen to be the kind of person that would have all kinds of weird shit like that, sure. 65%.
90.
Aha! I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, flat 80.
Actually, more than likely you found one, but it doesn't have a wick.
Shoot! Don't got no wick.
Toss it. I'll shoot it.
There's that. You can always toss it down. Have somebody try to shoot it.
I'm not gonna blow myself up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot your face.
Give me a minute. This is that secondary cave. Remember I left some wicks around here somewhere.
Oh, you hear Gordon go, I think really long and hard about that there, Levi. I think I might have seen some gold down here, and you wouldn't want to like bury your mother lode now, would you?
Rubble's a lot easier to pick through when you're alive than when you're dead.
Concern it. Yeah, concern it, you and your searing logic.
Hell, someone even told me this ain't even California, so I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here.
So different. You're standing out in the middle. You got your pistol in your hand. The guys told you got to come in and get him out. What are you going to do?
How bad is my leg?
You're bleeding out. You might be dead if you don't get some healing, but you're not going to get to that anytime soon. So
You need to finish this.
that's right. You gotta. You came for the bounty. You better come and get it.
Okay, I'll enter the cave.
What you doing, boy? I'm about to blow that shot up.
Okay. So you're looking like crazy, trying to nope, that ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. And all of a sudden you see Different walking towards the cave entrance.
Different, you dumbass, get out of there.
Don't fall, listen to him.
Different wanders into the cave. In the opposite side of the cave, you see Gordon's got a horrible wound to his chest. He's gasping for air.
Flab it.
But he's holding something close to his chest, almost like he's covering it, trying to hide it from you. One arm doesn't look like it's working very well. His fingers are in like a claw-like position, and he's using that arm to protect whatever it is he's holding on to. But the other hand looks healthy enough, and it's wrapped around a T-handle.
A what? Oh, a T-hammer?
T-handle.
T-handle.
Don't go in,
Don't go in there. That's
You only have a 5% chance, but let's see whether you can recognize what it is.
He told to Gordon. Gordon, do you remember that girl, Michaela Matthew?
I do.
The black girl?
I do.
That girl.
Yeah, I have a good story twist here at the end. Yeah, I remember her. She's nothing but a little bit. What is she to you?
Oh,
She's my cousin, and I fired the pistol at his head.
Nice, because you stalled me out because I was gonna. Okay, go ahead. Roll to hit.
Percentage
No,
under?
I
roll.
didn't say. Just roll.
30.
30. You hit him square. You hit him square in the throat. He's gasping, and his hand closes on the plunger. The good news is that you got him. The bad news is that you're standing in the doorway. Go ahead and roll percentage to see whether or not you got out.
Or throw yourself flat.
I'm guessing I'm gonna need to roll that too, cause I'm up above.
Well, only if he fails on
If
this.
the ceiling collapses.
Right, we have to see. Just give me a second.
3%.
Yeah, the rocks fall. The huge pile of dust. You go ahead and make your percentage chance. 40% for you, Travis.
19, hot diggity.
All right. So you're literally hanging onto one of the cross members as the floor falls out from under you. You're hanging on the side there, looking down. Gordon is a spot of paste with his boots still steaming, and
Looks like I don't have to share my bounty anymore.
and it
Ooh-wee, good thing I was raised by bats.
and that's clear that you are definitely bats. You see different one of the big boulders against his chest, laying on the ground.
I run to him.
Damn, boy, I warned you.
I run too.
It's like, do you have
Nino
the paper?
Mite, don't mess around.
Do you have the paper bounty?
Oh no, she doesn't. She watches for that other one that's wounded, and she yells out, "Now will you surrender, boy?"
He's dead.
No, the one that's wounded.
All right, I forgot about that guy.
The whole point here is that everybody ran forward. That was
I didn't run forward. I'm hanging.
you're I know. I said, but everybody else was running forward. And as Cowbee runs forward and he dropped his friend, the other guy goes, "You killed Billy Ray! You killed Billy Ray!" and takes off 2 shots at you. Roll percentage, Cowbee.
Yes, sir. I got a 58.
58. Okay, you get hit again. This time in the shoulder. It's spinning you sideways, but that has revealed the second, the wounded guy, and Lady V can take a shot at him with her rifle.
Okay.
Can I take a shot at him while I fall to the side?
Sure, you can shoot at him too. That both of you can.
Both take out.
Can I shoot at him with the shotgun I'm holding between my toes?
Hard 8.
Nice.
Hard 8.
Nice.
And I rolled a 16. I rolled a d20 and got a 1. So that means I get an 8.
Okay. Why'd you roll a d20?
Because that's my deck of dice.
Oh, I see. You're doing the percentage dice that way. Gotcha. So 60 something. So yeah. So
16 something. Well, it's my 20. My 20 is my deca. My 10 is a 10. So I rolled a 16.
Alright, I got
Okay.
a hard 8.
okay. So both of you hit him square. Basically, he took his shot. He wounded Cowboy again, and both of you blasted him. He falls without a sound.
That's why you don't mess with the cowboy.
He falls soundlessly to the ground with a big thump.
Well,
Well, I hope there's a bounty on the
And
man.
we've been missing out on Chaos for a bit, so Chaos comes walking in with he's got the horses. Well, we get that all cleaned up now.
Yeah?
what? I'm just like, wow, what a mess.
Yeah, it was
The difference is
that-
down.
that
Can
was the,
someone get a damn ladder out of my cart, please? My pinky's starting to hurt.
Yeah.
My side's starting to hurt.
yeah,
Can I
and
get some help?
it totally felt like
Brandy?
the episode definitely felt like it felt like Hateful Eight or one of the other Quentin Tarantino movies with all the blood.
I was getting very much Hateful Eight vibes out of.
That's what happens when the voices of reason leave.
Yeah,
She lifts up her dress, takes the edge of a petticoat, and takes off a ruffle,
yep.
and starts binding wounds. Before y'all bleed to death, I think I ought to minister to your needs.
There's a whole cask of whiskey in my trunk if you need to use it.
If you'll get me the damn ladder.
A good amount.
But I do need a damn ladder.
So I'm gonna go get the ladder just to.
And the whiskey.
Okay, and now we find out something kind of problematic about. I'm not going to pronounce his name right. Roderburnen. What's the mule's name again?
Rosinata.
Rossinatin.
Rossinatin doesn't respect authority. So as you go towards him, and this is typical for the way a Wild West movie ends, is you're trying to get get him to stop so you can get the ladder off of it, but he keeps running ahead. You run ahead, like trot 3 or 4 steps away, and as you approach, it runs along. So.
Oh my God!
So at the end of it, the sheriff's trying to get the ladder for the poor prospector who's still hanging from the rock.
Flab it, Rossinatin, sit your butt down.
The card dealer is spreading out some healthfulness, and the bounty hunter's looking down at his prey, and he'll never be able to collect because all that's left is the guy's boots.
Boop.
Yep. And we are done with the session. Thank you guys. Stay on the line. I do want to talk after, but that will be it for the video episode. I need to get ready to shut down this channel. I want to thank everybody that was with us
She
and
was
watched.
just hoping that Gordon would finally take that guy's offer. As soon as she walked out, her finger would slip on the trigger.
Anyway, hang on just a second. Everybody wave goodbye that can see the camera. That would be me. You guys have a good
Bye.
day.
Give me a
Give me the camera.
second. Give me a second.
Bye-bye, you
Imagine-
flippity gibbets.
imagine
Keep
that.
walking.